Welcome to the 0 to 7 podcast, where each week you follow us as we talk to you about our decisions and strategies about hitting our goal of hitting 7 figures of income with this business in just 1 year. Before we get started, we probably should tell you guys who we are.
Who are we?
What is this that you just stumbled across?
Well, I'm Brad. I'm the owner of Window Still and owner of Lime Green Clean. I can't even say the name. Well, we can talk about that later when we pick that name. But
that was a whole marketing decision. Anyway, I'm Dean. I am the marketing director for Window Still and for Lime Green Clean now. So I'm kind of like overseeing a lot of that stuff. We're both kind of marketing nerds.
Yeah.
When it comes to all of that kind of stuff, which kind of
led
how we got started with this.
So
a little bit.
So what did we do?
Yeah, what have we done is the real question. So basically, this whole concept 0 to 7, it's our goal. We want to build this business. We want to go from zero within 1 calendar year. We want to go from zero in income all the way up to 7 figures in the 1 year.
Yeah,
basically, like,
yep.
You came up with this idea first. So like,
yeah.
Where did you get this from? Like,
how how this all started was, first off, I was like, over time because we have some short-term rentals and we're going to need someone to clean these eventually. So that's kind of how the idea started. And then I was like, we'll hire somebody down the road once we have a couple of them. But we got our first one, and then all of a sudden I went on vacation, and then I was out walking around, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? What are we waiting for? Why are we waiting? Let's just do it now. So I literally got back from my walk. Went online, bought the name, bought the domain name, literally did everything. We started a logo the next day, got that all started, and get back from vacation. All of a sudden we're like, guys, here's our goal. And
he walked in coming back from vacation with, he had a logo, he had like all of this stuff. When we're like, I thought you were going on vacation. I thought you were taking a break. It's not the case here, but
yeah. And I just come in the office. I'm like, hey guys, here's our new goal. Like, they're like, whoa. They're like not expecting that, because they're not always just thinking
I'm
that.
Thinking
that
he's
big.
Gonna make we want to make this a successful business. And they're like, no, he wants to make this a capital S successful business.
So we're like, let's go. So we came up with this. Plan, and we're like, I think one day me and Dean are looking over it, and Dean's looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden that night I just was like all out on the Excel spreadsheet. Well, Google spreadsheet, whatever you guys use. We went all out on the spreadsheet, and I went in depth, figured it all out, what we need to do every single month, exactly every single thing we need, full blown plan. And all of a sudden I sent it to Dean. I'm like, Dean, this is achievable. We can do it.
We can actually do it. I'm not crazy. This isn't some sort of fever dream. Like, this is,
and
this is actually something we're going to try to do.
And this all happened in this is a matter of 2 weeks. We've created this entire thing, built it, planned it, designed it, and launched it. And
so backing up, you started it because you opened your first Airbnb.
Yep.
You have gone down that route, but then you realized you needed people to clean it. You wanted people to clean the Airbnb, but as a byproduct of Window Still, we have a bunch of real estate agents that also need properties cleaned, whether they've got rental properties, whether we just have this big customer base that there's basically another need that you saw needed to get met.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know, Window Still is a real estate photography company, which we started in 2015. And we just always build on product, adding extra value all the time. And that's why we're like, wait, this exact same client, the exact same clients we're already working with in that business are the exact same ones we're going to need for this business. So that also kind of helped us make the decision going, oh crap, we're going to hire somebody full time to do this. We got to make sure we can pay them.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you started this idea, you had the ball rolling, you figure out the name Lime Green Clean because you saw someone in a lime or a bright orange shirt, and you're like, well, we can't do orange because that's already taken. So what about lime green?
Yeah. So that's where we, like Dean said, we decided to, I was like, I saw a company with lime green, orange shirts. I was like, you know what? How about we just have everybody in lime green shirts? And I was like, lime green. Let's just like based the whole branding off of the color lime green. We noticed that everyone's saying, "Oh, lime's like the food." Now we're going with
No
the color.
limes.
We're branding the color.
Nothing about eco-friendly in the branding. It is eco-friendly.
Yeah,
That's kind of necessary, but
that's not the
it's
actual.
we don't want to focus on that, right?
Yeah.
We want to steer people away from that because that's
Like we are doing that, but not. Our
we don't
whole
we don't need
focus
to
is the
slap people in
color.
the face with it.
Yeah,
We're
not
slapping people in the face with other stuff. Like it's
like that's already passed. Everyone just should be doing that already.
That's it. Yeah, that's kind of standard. But did you, when you first started it, did you think that you wanted to get into the cleaning business because there's I was like looking up the charts, like there's a predicted spike in need for cleaning businesses, especially post-pandemic. Was that part of why you wanted to start the business, or was that just kind of like
that was found out afterwards?
That was found out after you
crap,
decided.
this is really good timing for this.
That's when you're like, oh, yep. Okay, 7 figures. Yeah, we can do that. All right.
Yeah. And also like looking, then we researched all our competitors and figured all the reviews and figured out what bad things were. And then we're like, these are all things that are basic. Come on.
These are the things that we're already doing as Windows still, like with customer service and like all that kind of stuff. So it's almost
so
a
basic.
no-brainer at that point.
Yeah.
So getting into it. So like now we've started the business, right? So now we're going to kind of get into a schedule. So we're going to be putting out an episode every single week where you guys can follow along with the decisions that we're making, like not only as a business, but in the marketing aspect. Because I mean, really that's what the business is. It's a marketing problem and solution that we just have to market it right. And
that's what a lot of like businesses go into it. And they're just like, I'm a contractor. I'm just going to create a business because I'm a contractor and got that. No, but they don't actually understand like the marketing side of it. And like you don't like, if you just do basic marketing or like you just know basic stuff about marketing, like that right there makes your business just take off.
Instead of creating a business, they're creating a job.
Exactly.
And they don't really look at it as a whole.
Yep.
So startup costs.
Okay. So we did a little more than normal. We figure we're probably about $6,000 what we have in startup, which is for the whole month.
That you say that's more than normal too, because when you say 6,000 to me, I'm thinking like that's a really low startup cost for a business.
So we could have done it with like
brick and mortar, like you think something like that, then like
but we're
kind of low, but
we're counting that for our whole month. That's like
6,
the whole. That's like January, is what we're at. But yes, like you could get into this business for a couple $100. You get all your things and go at it. But we went all out, did the whole branding, did the whole thing, because we knew if we do just the certain things, we know what to do to all of a sudden this is going to take us off. So we did that, and it's already going to pay off. So
like splitting up that 6,000. So you bought a class.
Yeah. So what we did is you might as well just model what works. So find out somebody that's already done what you want to achieve. And we bought the course and figured out what method they use, figured out what works, figured out exactly how to do everything. Pretty much every single thing that we didn't know how to do, we went and learned.
We know nothing about cleaning.
Yeah.
that's
a couple weeks ago.
You'll find, like if you look at our first pictures, our marketing pictures on our Facebook, like we're holding things the wrong way around. I took a picture of Brad standing on a desk vacuuming it. Like we have no idea what we're doing when it comes to cleaning.
But what is the one thing we did? We hired somebody that knew what they were doing.
That was our startup cost. Like just getting somebody that knows what they're doing and just staying one step ahead of them.
Yeah.
With the class.
Yeah.
Like all we have to do is be one day ahead. What's the movie that you always quote?
Oh, what is that one? Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, just gotta be one step ahead.
Just one step ahead of everyone. Like, how did you teach this advanced class? I just read the page the day before, pretty much.
Yeah, but we did learn, like, she already knew, like, she's already used to do this for a living, so that's where it worked out good. She already knew how to do everything, and we're over here trying to, like, hey, we need to learn this, need to teach her this, need to teach her that. She's like, oh, guys, you do it this way. It's like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
We hired you because you knew what you're doing.
That's right.
So that's pretty much our big startup cost is employment for her, and then the class we got, and then any of the other just basic stuff we like, the equipment and the cleaning supplies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and when we say employment, like we put her straight in full-time salary.
Yeah, full-blown salary. She's got full benefits, everything. So one thing you got to do is you're going to have to especially for this business, I wasn't sure. This was one thing I wasn't sure right off the bat either. Like, how do you hire someone to do cleaning that you yourself aren't like, I don't really want to go out and clean all day long.
You're not passionate about cleaning. How
do you find somebody that is, and then making sure they're compensated for it so they never want to leave. So you make sure they're compensated really well. And then just give them the benefits they need. And that was one thing we learned from the class. Like, not every single, realistically, a cleaning person should not, or like full-time is not always the option. Like, that's not always the normal, because part-time, because it's kind of a labor intensive job. So I want to make sure we can, she wanted to do it full time. She's like all for it. So we're probably going to see if anyone else wants to do it full time. And then those are the people we'll hire too, but we'll also hire some part-time people to cover all our duplicate stuff. So
yeah. And part of your start off cost then also, so we've got her monthly salary, we've got the class. Talk about how you came up with the branding, or how we have all of the logo and everything, because we could do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Your wife's a graphic designer. Like, we could come up with a lot of this stuff, but you kind of went a different route.
Yeah. So I've always, since I started with, with Windows still, like in 2015, like ever since then, I've always wanted to try the website 99 Designs. It's not the cheapest, but it's also a concept I've always wanted to try. And we just went and tried it. And what it is you actually show them what you're like. It's a contest to who can come up with the best logo. And then you pretty much work with that designer to create that logo. So you post what you want, you give it a time frame, and then they have this many days to submit a logo to you. And I think we got like 500 and some
and
logos.
How many days?
It was probably 3 or 4.
3 days.
I think we extended it one more day because I didn't know how it worked. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, do we have to have it done by then? Can we edit it later? I didn't know that part because I was like, oh, we only have 15 minutes left. Let's extend it one more day. And then come to find out we didn't need to because we already had the one we wanted, and they could change it later. So we got the one we wanted. They did a really good job at it. They created all the stuff for us.
And this was all while he was on vacation, of course. So he comes back and we're like, wow, you worked really hard. He was like,
we got the logo.
Here's this website. And by the way, we'll link all of these websites and the stuff that we talk about. We'll link them. This will be posted on YouTube. And we'll have all of the links there. I believe it'll be on show notes, depending on what platform you're watching / listening to this on. But yeah, you'll have links to all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially so you don't have to like pause and write it down. It'll all be there. So this first week, really, I mean, the big thing that we did this week was the early bird ad.
Yeah. So when let's talk about that, because that's a really big part of the business of how we got it started, how we just launched it to make sure we're kind of off to a good start.
We launched the business.
Yeah.
So
we hit it on a rocket and took off.
we're sitting down late one day, and we kind of are thinking about stuff, and Brad tells us this goal of like how many clients we need to get per day. Yeah. And it was just before the new year was about to, to start. So I was kind of thinking to myself, I was like, well, why don't we just get a head start? And so I call up my sister and ask her like, hey, you need cleaning people, right? And Brad just turns over to me and just looks at me like,
oh crap, we're starting now.
Oh, we're going. And so I'm on the phone with my sister and I was like, hey Brad,
how much is this?
How much would this cost? And he's like, well, since we're not actually a business yet, we don't actually do this. He just came up with a price.
Yeah.
just out of the blue. And it's from that, it was one thing. So like I quoted it just for one person.
Yeah.
That was a relative. It's not like there's not a whole lot of risk in that. But then this idea kind of like starts spiraling of like, what if we just make a whole ad of it? Like, what if we offer this to a bunch of people? Make sure that this is profitable first.
Yeah.
Make sure that number is actually realistic. And because the number is about 60% off.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
but why did we, the biggest thing is, why did we like give that 60% off? And then we gave that. So then, like you said, that the crazy idea just to offer it is like that right there, proof of concept that people wanted it. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, well, now we can use that to leverage to make sure we can cover all expenses. And then we're just right off day one, we're just starting off good.
Right. And so we kind of we built this, we made sure it's we're not losing money. We're not in the red with every single clean. And then you do this thing where you're just like, yeah, let's offer it for life. And you had said this thing to me the other day too, where like make guarantees that scare you. And I think that's so indicative of like, so for this ad, guaranteeing these prices for life, like eventually it will be in the red.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the business is big enough that we can take it and it's not it's not a big problem, but it was so crucial, especially in this first starting of the business, that like this is what's going to keep us afloat at least initially for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, it's already starting to take off. Like we haven't run a single ad yet other than the early bird ad.
Yeah.
But we have enough income to cover all of that.
Yeah. We're pretty much booked for like this week. We got pretty full. Next week is doing like, it's almost already booked already. We're like, we're going to have to start hiring our phase 2 next week.
Yeah, we basically like our next goal was to hire one other person by the end of January.
Yep.
And then I think 2 or 3 other people in February.
Yeah.
Because we're adding another city on.
Yep.
And we're kind of having to accelerate it because there's that much business already. I mean, honestly, like our biggest problem so far this week has been people thinking that we're scammers. Like, that's how strong of a guarantee we're telling people, like this price guaranteed for life. And people are like, that's a scam.
Yeah. They were like, this is a scam. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And we're like, well, you don't have to.
You can do it later. You wait until next week after the sale closes.
Yeah.
And pay the full price. Like if you don't want to pay right now, by all means, go for it.
And we did do the 100% guarantee. Like we'll refund anybody that doesn't want it. After, like if they just signed up and they're like changed their mind completely or something happens, we'll just get full refund for them. Which was then another,
like, no questions asked. It's just a scary guarantee, but at the same time, like our goal isn't to, like it's just to like launch this business. And I mean, we launched it. Yeah. The way that we built the ad, we decided if you haven't watched the early bird ad, I'll probably link the video in the show notes so you can watch it. But basically we kind of decided to advertise on absurdity and just kind of go this crazy route of I'm gonna have to bleep this podcast out because I didn't hit the explicit button. But basically our whole tagline was, we clean your shit. And it just, the people's idea of like what someone coming to their house and cleaning, just like kind of turning it on their head and just like giving them a company with a personality and like putting face to it and like, I don't know, just being real and being like, they're coming in and cleaning my shit. Like that's what they do.
We got to make cleaning fun.
Making cleaning fun again. I mean, and that's kind of what we're going through as far as all the branding in this company. And I think that's cool. So the big reveal.
Where we at?
Week 1, where are we at?
Well, let's talk about the early bird. So
you want to talk about the early bird more? Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we did on that one. So we did, like you said, we ran it right before Christmas and New Year's. That was our time frame because the ad related to like your family coming over kind of too. So your mother-in-law coming over. So we added that in there too.
Critiquing your house.
Critiquing your house, which was, we went on their feelings of actually why they're there. So, so we did, what are we at? We were at, I think we had like $3,800 paid right up front with the early bird, just over that. And then that was what people paid up front. And those weren't, and we also had a lot of people schedule outside of that because they wanted to pay cash or pay some other method. We only accepted the people that were going to pay upfront with credit card during that time frame. And we had a lot of people request it after it was closed. We had several people like, hey, can you go back on that deal? And we're like, no, this is not
we don't want that price.
This is not going to be well. So yeah, that was what we had up front. And then we had, I don't remember how many we had scheduled. I have to look again how many we had scheduled afterwards that are already like paying outside of that. So what we did is that was a guaranteed them a price, and that price, it can be for any like frequency, 1 day a week, up to once a year, however often they want. We just keep the same price, which will be cheaper than our frequency prices. So that's what worked out really well. And several of them have already signed up for several times a month, which has helped us out a lot.
People like committing to like a week every year.
Every week
for the whole year.
Yeah, every single week. Like they're already on the schedule. So
yeah, and so altogether we have promised 13. Yeah, 13 grand.
Yeah, 13,000 is already on the schedule. And a lot of those early bird people have not even signed up for that. They just actually wanted to pay
they just wanted in.
They just wanted
to be a part of the Lime Green Clean.
I think we only got can't remember the exact percentage, but probably, I don't want to make up a number, but majority of them haven't actually continued to schedule.
Majority of them are just waiting. They're just waiting
like,
until a time
a week.
They have extra money or they're not.
Yeah, so they're ready to go. But yeah, we're at 13,000 already on the schedule for the year. So that's getting us right towards our goal for the year. So pretty darn good.
Week 1. So that's it. I didn't think of an outro yet. So.
Yeah, that's where we're at. What do we do at the end, guys?
So I hadn't thought that far. But thanks you guys for listening. This is the 0 to 7 podcast. We'll be putting a podcast out every single week. Not sure if it's gonna be Friday or Saturday yet. We record them on Friday so we can
show the whole week for you guys.
Yeah, do the whole week of what we did and everything. But we really hope that you'll kind of follow us along and watch us.
Yeah, you guys know where the subscribe button's at. Hit the subscribe button below. Give us some likes. Give us a review too. We need some reviews, especially if you guys get some value out of this. Let us know. If you guys got questions, let us know. We're definitely willing to help you out. But yeah, we would like to take you guys along on this journey, so it's be fun.
Thanks. See you guys in the next one.